Hello and a very warm welcome to BBC News. I'm Mark Lowen. We're going to start this hour with the continued escalation in the Middle East because the US and Iran have exchanged further strikes around the Strait of Hormuz and across the Gulf for the seventh night in a row. Air raid sirens sounded early on Saturday in Bahrain, which hosts the US Navy's Fifth Fleet. Iran also said it launched strikes at American bases in Jordan and Kuwait. And in the past couple of hours, Kuwaiti officials say Iran has struck another of its power plants and water desalination plants a day after a similar attack. Meanwhile, Iranian state media have reported explosions in several locations in Iran, including the central city of Yazd and Qshem Island and the port of Bandar Abbas next to the Strait of Hormuz. Officials say at least 3 people have been killed and 8 injured. Let's bring in BBC Monitoring Soroush Negadari from our unit that watches, listens to and reads media from across the world. Soroush, good to have you with us. What is the narrative that you are picking up in Iran? The US clearly trying to bomb Iran to the negotiating table. What are you picking up in terms of the Iranian official narrative?
Yes, I'm glad that you made that point about U.S. trying to force Iran into coming back to the negotiating table with these attacks. That seems to be what they're saying because Iranian officials and media have directly responded to that. And we had officials saying in the past couple of days that Iran will not be forced back to the negotiations with these attacks. What we see on Iranian media, be it state TV or newspapers or state-linked outlets, is that they're almost unanimously issuing defiant messages that they're ready for continuation of the conflict if it's necessary. And we have Iranian military officials repeatedly saying that Iran can escalate and would escalate if it thinks that its national interest is at risk and under attack. Late last night, we had this top advisor to the supreme leader and the former chief of the IRGC himself doing an interview with the state TV and saying that Iran, the reason that Iran has not escalated yet is that they are basically considering the timing, and said that Tehran is ready for an offensive phase of the escalation. So the message coming out of Tehran seems to be very defiant and seems like, just like the U.S., they don't want to be the first one that under the pressure goes back to the negotiation, basically.
Yeah, and I also saw that senior advisor you mentioned said Iran will resume a full-scale offensive if U.S. strikes continue for 2 or 3 days. So clearly that is the fear here. But also, Soroush, with that escalation comes the continuing alienation, I suppose, of Iran's allies, including Oman, which is being hit, one of the chief negotiators in trying to bring a diplomatic resolution to all of this.
Yes, and Iran is trying to do some damage control when it comes to those concerns. They have issued repeated statements saying that, reiterating their position that they are not attacking the neighboring countries, they're attacking U.S. bases in these neighboring countries. And they stress that they have good relations and would like to continue good relations with the neighboring countries. Their argument is that they don't want to escalate. This senior advisor last night again said that they had to expand the conflict to the regional countries because U.S. has bases there and they are using those bases to attack Iran. So Iran justifies these measures like that. In some of the recent IRGC statements on the attacks, detailing the attacks on these interests, they directly addressed the people of Kuwait and Jordan, for example. And they said that you are brotherly nations and you're a Muslim nation like us. Iran does not seek harming these great nations. We have to do it to basically protect our national interests. How much that would work, or how much media attention it will get in the Gulf countries is a different question. But that is what they're trying to do some damage control and prevent further harming of the relationships with their neighbors in the Gulf.
Soroush Negadari from BBC Monitoring, great to get your thoughts. Thanks very much.